The Nurburgring Nordschleife is really unique. It's one of a kind. It's very challenging for every driver. I think it's very famous around the world. That's also clear because of its characteristic.
Well, Nurburgring is just, I think, the best track that you can find in the world. You know, very long track, very demanding. A lot of fast corner, a lot of slow corner, a lot of jumps. Yeah, it's just a crazy one. But to drive, it's really, for me, it's the best one.
It makes it challenging when you have to go through greater distances compared to a normal track. So you could encounter weather at different parts of the track. You could have 5 minutes of clear track and no traffic, and then all of a sudden come up on a race of much slower cars.
You know, you've got so many corners to master, and then you've got so many different varying track conditions, grip levels. Then you've got the cars in all different speeds as well, so you've got traffic to manage.
And obviously also lots of elevation changes. And this makes it so special, because it's just hard for the driver and a big challenge to always stay focused. And one little mistake means obviously directly into the guardrail.
It's so fast, you know, there's not so many slow corners. There's a lot of linked corners as well, and by that I mean corners that you do a certain thing in one corner, it affects how you get into the next and then into the next.
I would say there's not one corner or area where you don't have a rhythm. It's always, it fits to each other, you know? Any part is cool and you like every corner. Of course you have your most favorite one, whatever, but there's so much going on this track and no runoff area. So obviously it's quite dangerous compared to other tracks.
What makes the Nürburgring special is the way everything links together. You know, you don't have anywhere else in the world. You have cool corners, but you don't have the same combination of all the corners together.
Every section of the track has its own sort of trickiness to it. So you'll start the beginning phase through Flugplatz, Schwerenkreuz, which is two very, very fast corners where you need a lot of commitment. Some of the corners are dropping away in terms of camber, so you really need a lot of commitment, a lot of trust in the car.
The most difficult part of the track for me would be Exmühle. You're always on the limit there, but if you get it wrong, you're directly into the wall. So it's a very high-risk corner, definitely time to gain. Verseifen is one of the slowest corners on the track, but I tend to find that the slowest corners is actually where you can find the most time.
Probably one of my favorite corners on the track is probably the Wippermann section when you're going through this high-speed area, because it's flowing, it's fast, you know, you need to be very committed as well. It's blind, there's a lot of bumps, so you know, it's almost like dancing or ballet.
It's different passing here to it is any other track actually, because on the Nordschleife it's such a single file track. Because it's so fast, the turns are so fast, it's not so many heavy braking zones, and it's so narrow, you've got to have a speed differential well in excess of probably 10 seconds a lap to be able to make a pass.
It's really a track of compromise. And at the end of the day, you need a car with a lot of top speed for the long straight of Dettinacher, but you also need a lot of downforce for medium speed corner. So yes, it's all about compromise, and also your driving style need to be a compromise.
Weather, with it being such a large area that it covers, one part of the track can be wet, one part of the track can be dry. So you have to get a lot of different decisions throughout the race correct, especially if it's mixed conditions.
I had my first race here. It was nighttime, so my first night stint in the 24-hour of Nürburgring, and they came on the radio while I was on Grand Prix circuit and said, rain at Adenauer Forest. So I got to Adenauer Forest and slowed down and made sure that I was safe there, and it was completely dry. So I started pushing again, and I encountered a wet patch in Metzgesfeld. So the rain had moved already a little bit. So the next lap, I came to Metzgesfeld expecting a bit of rain, completely dry again. So then it had moved into Verseifen. And so you're always having to adapt, because you see a corner and you won't see it again for 8+ minutes.
Any mistake will be a big penalty, because usually you hit the guardrail or something, so the race can be over, so you have to be super focused.
You need to really have the confidence and the trust in the car, and if you're not brave enough, you'll not be quick.
So you have to be able to, you know, take it easy and be safe where you want to be, and then be ready to switch back on and push again. So I think the key at Nürburgring is not so much in the fine details of preparation, but being adaptable and ready to change your approach at any given point, depending on the traffic or the weather.
The green hell always wins. Trying to be aggressive in the beginning never pays off. If anything, you scare yourself, and it'll take you twice as long to get back up to that point and be comfortable. So respect the green hell and take your time learning it.